Blah.
Blah.
6.
Oh. And 1.
no.
You're not even risking it.
This is like,
My ritual's already happened, and that's what it landed on, so that's how it will remain
There you
for
go.
the time being.
Forever.
Thank you for all of the resubs.
Yes, so many subs in chat. Thank you all. It's lovely.
We got some anniversaries.
Yeah,
we
we
got
got
a 1 year from Splooey.
Congrats to the captain.
And 3 from Gilly Good.
Oh, very nice.
And
Blah.
3 and a third.
You okay?
from Kingfish.
What?
Wow.
It's
We've got a daycare full of subscriptions.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like that.
All right, fair enough.
Look, there have been 3.5-inch floppy disks. There have been 5.25-inch floppy disks, and there have been 7-inch floppy disks. And my dad, I really wish it didn't. That's not.
No. I really want to know where you're going.
He has like boxes of the huge floppy disks, which are very cool. And at one point, I wanted to like do a thing with them, and I might still. Who knows?
Yeah, a thing. Mysterious.
Wasn't sure where it was gonna go.
Make it rain.
Make it rain.
Use my throwing stars.
Yeah, I was thinking frisbees, but
Yeah, frisbees.
Oh,
Where are we? It's a really good
his
question.
dad
Like emotionally or
was
spiritually or
Packing boxes.
boxes full of floppy
Yeah.
disks. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
floppy. Why was it called a floppy disk?
Because it wasn't a hard disk.
Hmm.
It's actually the real reason why they were called floppy disks is because the larger ones were floppy.
Yeah, they're made
Like-
out of.
And isn't the part inside like acetate or whatever? Not acetate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right? Like it's yeah.
It's like the
Um,
material that cassette tapes were made out of, but in just
Yeah.
sort of that
That's
stuff.
the word.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And of course, the 3.5-inch floppy is still the sign for saving, and yet many people who use computers these days have never used one of those disks, or perhaps
Well,
have never even touched one.
receivers for telephones too, right? Like
Yeah.
that's still very much a like use phones, and people are like, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Floopy.
Loopy plastic.
True that though. Floopy
It
plastic.
was, yeah, it was kind of in the same texture as, like, same density. I'm very early on this, so we don't have to go to.
I mean, I feel like I have
Yeah, I
to.
know.
Oh, okay.
Desperately trying to find the right density.
Speaking of
You are my density.
floopy density, we're very not dense when it comes to safety.
Oh!
So these are cards that we use to maximize our safety and by extension maximizing our fun. You viewers do not have these safety cards, but you do have options. We'll get to that in a second. What does a green or play card mean? That means I am enthusiastically consenting to the roleplay that is going on right now. Even if my character seems very upset, I, the player, am good to go. Yellow, which is a pause card, means heads up everyone, I need your attention. I need to make the table aware of something. Most of the time it's just a quick heads up, and then when you put the card back down, you're good to continue. A red card or a stop card, on the other hand, means I'm not okay to continue. In our case, probably means we'll go to a BRB screen and we'll discuss amongst ourselves what to do. We will only pick up play if everybody at the table is down to continue. What can you folks do? Well, you can always whisper us at RPGClinic if there's something you want to make us aware of. That will go to all of us. You could also message or whisper one of our mods. Today we have Aragwin and Kung Fu Fenris in the chat. Thank you very much. And they can pass along your feedback anonymously if you so choose. And another thing that is always an option is closing the chat, leaving the stream. Of course, we'd be sad to see you go, but we really, really, really want to see you safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of you, especially you, you know who you are.
Oh. Yes. Whoa. I like that. Okay.
Me!
Me.
Thanks, Captain Slouie.
You weren't supposed to out yourself.
Sploos, 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 sploos.
Wrong channel. We won't do that here. No, I don't know. Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah, that's
It's last session. Just
Same.
realizing. Like,
There's
surprising.
intense chastitude happening.
Institute. Yeah.
You took lots.
Did you
Yeah.
take notes
We're
about what
really
you spent
good.
your experience on?
Oh, I did. Oh, I took notes on it. Yes.
3, 2, 1.
I did it. I didn't want to spoil it for Aragorn. Sorry, Aragorn. Oh, shit. I fucked up Flower's prediction too. Oh, it's just a terrible day for everybody. In Yay!
Arg!
I feel like Flower's destined to always be wrong.
Oh, no.
Somehow.
It's
We'll
The
be
sorry.
like,
expenditure.
Ah. Wait, what?
Oh, into the incinerator we
I'll
go.
start by zipping myself up for easier transport.
Oh my god.
Oh, but fair. In light of how our pack and Dante specifically dealt with any
But
percent,
Dante specifically.
but Dante specifically. No, in light of how our pack dealt with any percent and the calling of the moot and respecting the truth catcher of the moot, I bought a second dot of honor.
Honor!
I was like going to. I was like, I shouldn't, but
I'm moving ever closer to just straight playing Zuko on a stream. I've had like 3 characters in a row that were all like pushing in that direction. It's fine.
it'll happen.
It'll happen one day.
It should be pointed out that just because we run a scene in a certain week doesn't mean we purchased the item the week prior. We basically just run the scenes whenever we can.
Yes, that's
so
a good point.
there's still the element of surprise.
That's a good point as well.
The Discord scenes, that is.
Yes,
For those of you
of
not
course.
aware, on our
you.
Discord channel, we have on our Discord server, we have a channel where we are playing out scenes where our characters are acquiring gifts and/or rights, but we are running those asynchronously.
Yes. When life allows.
Good word.
They're canon, but they just don't necessarily happen at the right times.
They happen when it's convenient for us, not our characters.
Not Gaia.
Yeah.
You know? Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
It could be. Is Twitch being Twitch?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Looking into it, thank you.
Thank
We're
you,
dropping
guys.
some frames.
Mysterious.
We don't usually drop frames.
Yeah, I specifically didn't update to the latest OBS because it was a 0.0, which means there isn't a bug fix, so I didn't want to risk that.
We didn't have issues with our weekend streams despite not updating.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that's not happening.
I don't,
Oh, you did.
however, see any reason for us dropping frames, and we're no longer dropping frames. So I'm going to keep an eye on it for now.
Thank you.
Let us know if it happens again, folks. Thank you for letting us know when it did happen.
I mean, also, just because you streamed yesterday doesn't mean that Twitch isn't fucking
No,
up
no,
today.
No,
That's
for sure.
absolutely
It's
correct,
just
yeah.
if the issue was not using the update, I haven't updated. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, no, there were. I read 1912 dropped frames,
Huh.
but it hasn't changed recently. So I
At
don't
least
know,
Spot
assume
says
that it was a
it's
hiccup.
good now? Question mark.
Said we'll do, so on and
Yes.
so forth. So, yeah.
Cool.
There's a disturbance in the force, but it settled down.
As if
But please let us
Somebody's
know,
voice
because if it's
cried
as simple
out
as like we
about
just have to stop and start the stream again or whatever, then we will.
Turn it off and on again. Never fails. Often fails.
Because I can see the number, but it's all the way down here, and it's very small,
smooth.
like other things that are all the way down there, like the recap, which is tiny and yet mighty.
Tiny but mighty. Yeah, the pen is mightier than the.
Off to the races. Troyan ran in the direction any percent was last seen. Macris switched to Lupus to pick up the scent, and Dante stayed behind to find answers. A long chase wove through backyards and back into the forest, where Macris just barely edged out the competition with the terrible smell. Any percent once more affirmed his desire to live before burrowing underground. Macris walked away from the matter, leaving Troyan to wrestle with the quiet hand and her own desire for vengeance. Dante reached the spirits and was shown a vision of devices forming a web around the city. His appeal to continue any percent's work, coupled with Apotheosis's haunting howl, allowed the fallen Ragabash to see one more dawn.
All right, are we ready?
I think
so,
so. Everyone good? Like all you folks at home? Is it seeming like things are okay?
Perfecto,
Fingers
perfecto.
crossed.
That's an amazing Discord conversation. So glad I caught up. Hello. All seems to be correct.
You spared someone. Hands up those of you who believe that you made the right decision. Okay.
That's a hat.
One of the things that's important to remember about a game like this, a game that originally was marketed as savage horror, is that sometimes you aren't savage, at least in the correct way of using that particular term, and sometimes it isn't horror. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. There will be times where you will make mistakes, you will spare the wrong person, you will fail to chase down who needs to die. And there will also be times that the three of you will make the right choice, the choice that no one else would have made. And maybe that's why you're heroes, and maybe not. But at the moment, you've made your choice. Whether the choice was made because you truly believed in it, whether it was because it was due to one heart-wrenching howl, or whether it was because you were playing the long game. I don't have those answers for you today. I know what the answers are. Now I'm looking forward to having you find out. It is the following day, night. What were you planning on doing? You all ended up in different locations. Why don't you remind us of where you are right now?
Macros had gone to check on any percent's home, but it was still very damaged. And there were way too many people around, so she's headed back towards the bar.
Troyan has reset the apartment now that Apotheosis has moved out and is opening the bar at the regular time and working there.
Dante needs to rest a bit, but before returning to the bar, has a longer detour to take. He has connected with his fellow tech dealer, Trace, and they're going to interpret the Raspberry Pi, currently in his body, skinbound, not, anyway, left to him by any percent. They're going to crack it open, as it were, and take a look at all the data inside, see what it is. Yeah.
So this friend of yours, how is this person listed on your sheet?
This Trace is one of Dante's touchstones.
Okay.
I've listed fellow tech dealer as the descriptor. That's what I got here.
Let's see. Let's see.
I believe I ever provided a physical description, but I'm sure I can do that.
So I'm gonna allow this,
Okay.
but I should point out that you would have had to buy this person as an ally for them to help you.
Ah, okay.
So the deal is you are going to be spending time with your touchstone, thumbs up, but they're not going to help you with any rolls.
Okay.
The rolls will be yours.
Perfect. That makes
You'll have to buy them as an ally
Okay.
for you to be able to just randomly call somebody and have them do it for
It's
you.
more like flavor help rather than...
Yeah, it's flavor help.
MSG.
Yeah.
It's the MSG
The king of flavor.
allies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, John. That makes sense to me.
Yep.
I'm going to make a note of wanting to possibly purchase that.
I mean, you don't have to.
No. I'm just, as a like, Cool. That's where Dante's headed.
And this is Trace.
Trace.
And Trace is... Describe Trace for me.
Sure. Trace is, if you think of... whatever comes to your mind when you think of street urchin. So, very small, kind of twitchy, kind of like a little bit of a... little mousy, perhaps. Sports,
So Mouse.
so similar to Mouse, yeah. Sports a similar hairstyle to Dante, which is like spiky and patchy. This is
When
quickly
you say
becoming...
spiky and patchy, do you mean like Dante losing his hair, or...
I think he's shaved parts of it off.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a big difference.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, is that
That's Macros.
Is that a problem or okay? Flat cap knickerbockers. Straight out of Dickens. Yeah, exactly.
Governor, governor.
Hello, Governor.
Definitely but they definitely share a sort of punk aesthetic, the two of them.
When you reach, and does Trace know about your dual life, as it were?
That's a great question. No, because I think that's how touchstones work mechanically. Oh no, I guess it could be either way. But
You can tell them, they may not believe you.
that's fair. But no, I'm gonna say no.
They probably won't believe you. Trace welcomes you in. Trace's room is not what you would normally expect. Any percent's apartment before Macros flooded it was, like that stereotypical warren of cables everywhere, 900 machines. There's no time to do anything other than plug more things in and buy more power bars and hope I don't blow the breakers. No. Trace has a very clean and crisp looking battle station set up. Just 3 monitors spread out evenly over a granite tabletop that has a KVM and a keyboard and mouse all set out very precisely, very lovely on a mat, and is instead of offering you, Code Red Mountain Dew, there's a small espresso machine that's off into the corner, next to a mini fridge where inside there's nothing except San Pellegrino cans of various different flavors. And yet... Hi, okay. So, I just... are we here to figure something out here?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Dante.
Okay, Dante.
Pulls Trace into a hug, a bro grab, as it were, just to greet him.
Trace's hug is slightly sweaty, but enthusiastic
dear,
nonetheless.
Okay. Oh dear. Okay.
Love him so much already.
Love it. Okay. Yeah, we are. I figured I could use a second set of eyes on this.
Well, you know me, I'm always ready to help. Anytime for you, Dante. What you got for me?
Dante pulls out, reveals the Raspberry Pi. He would have taken it out of.
He just pulls it out of his
skin. He would have done so before getting to to this apartment. I got this from someone who had been doing some work on something very special and important. Now I don't know a lot about it, but it was his intention that I take it over. Okay? So what's going to be important here, Trace? I know it has nothing to do with... I don't think this is something we can sell. I don't think this is something that we can make money on. But I think it's something really important.
Well, we can't make any money off it. That's a Raspberry Pi.
It's what's on the Pi that counts. Well, in the Pi, whatever.
Who makes money off anything running on a Raspberry Pi?
That's a good point.
He takes it and he pops the SD card out and puts it into a very artfully underneath the countertop reader.
Ooh.
He slots in,
Nice.
calls it up, and starts looking through. Yeah, it looks like somebody's running code Python. Well, we're not going to make any money off Python.
No, it's not about making. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Trace. Okay. I know that it's been hard.
Yeah.
The last few months, right? We got to make ends meet as best we can. Okay. But, I have a feeling that whatever is on here is going to be really important for the city and for us. Do you catch my drift? I need to know what this is.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we
look at
can
it.
figure that out.
Great.
If you go into the kitchen for a second, I've been baking. I was just wondering whether you wanted to try some.
Yeah, what? Yeah, man. That sounds good.
I've got a really nice challah, which I thought maybe you might enjoy. Well, anyway, just give me a second here.
Okay.
And he pops open a few more windows and starts looking through it.
Okay. Dante will indeed go into the kitchen and look at the freshly baked something?
So it's sitting out. It's not, in fact, not in the oven. It's sitting out on a wire rack,
Oh, okay.
cooling off. But like a beautiful braided bread.
Ooh, lovely.
Some of it looks like it's been
challah.
colored. Yeah.
I heard ha.
I just heard ha, and I was like,
Ooh, I can't wait to find out what this is. Yeah.
Oh, challah.
Ah.
Some of it has been. One of the braids has been colored with cocoa, so that it has a multicolor swirl on it. And then you hear a, "Oh, Jiminy!"
Dante, midway through cutting some slices of this challah, will kind of, I guess, shout back over his shoulder. He's trying to get some so that they can both eat. Although, I imagine Trace doesn't want this any fucking where near his computer, is my assumption. But he'll still cut a couple slices and shout back over his shoulder, What's going on? And then he'll go back in.
What have you brought to me here?
Well, that's kind of the thing. I'm counting on you to keep...
You're lucky I'm firewalled up the heck.
Okay, so it's important then.
Listen, I don't know, but this looks like a surveillance network.
Holy shit. Of what?
These are sensors,
Okay.
and they've been listed at various places. These are street names. All over the shitty.
I'm so sorry.
What?
Nothing, Trace. Nothing, buddy.
All over this shit.
Okay. Like, how many are we talking here? How big's the network?
We're talking like 200 separate data points.
Are they all operational? They're still transmitting?
I told you I firewalled up the heck. I'm not looking at any of this
No.
live.
That's good. That's fine. I'll be able to do my best to gain access to these. Okay. Now, is this just...
Who in the HE double hockey sticks are you bringing this from?
I don't think I can tell you that.
Oh,
Well, only because they're not around anymore. They had to leave, and they had to get out pretty quickly.
so you don't want to let me in? No, is this like a need to know sort of basis?
Yeah. The problem, Trace, is I don't want to put you in danger.
You're always such a good friend, Dante. I love you, man.
I love you too. Do you want some of this bread, or? And he like
Oh,
starts
no,
to
I'm-
take it near the computer, and then he's like, whoa.
I'm trying a low carb sort of thing. I thought maybe you'd enjoy it.
Just baked a whole loaf for me?
Okay, I'll try some.
Dante provides him a piece.
Sweet bean.
Look, Trace. It's not that I don't want to let you in on this, okay? It's just that I have a feeling that my friend, this guy Andy, that he was into some pretty bad shit, and he made me. He
Is
wanted.
this like a drug dealer's thing? Maybe it's to monitor all the people who he's trying to sell with.
Yeah, maybe. I hope it's not drugs, because I don't want to get involved in that.
No, it's just, drugs aren't so bad. It depends on the drugs.
Right. Some are good, some are bad.
Sometimes, I've been trying a little CBD before I go to sleep.
Oh,
Just
Does that help? Does that help, buddy?
I've been having great dreams lately. We
Don't
don't
they
need to talk
actually-
about that.
Well, no. Dante crouches next to him so that, or what, sits on a chair or whatever, so they're at eye level. What kind of dreams?
You just like
Oh,
a red light
Oh!
just goes from down here and it just starts.
Oh,
going
that's
up
really
and
sweet.
Up and up and up and up and up and up.
you know what? Never mind. You don't have to tell me. Trace, I have a question, and again, like I said, it's really important to me that this not impact you, or that you not get involved in this. because I don't want you to get hurt. But can you tell me? I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing, Trace. What I've given you here,
Yeah.
is this just collecting data, or does it allow for the control of these sensors?
Well, it can't necessarily collect a lot of data. I mean, it's a Raspberry Pi. There's only so much. Some of these are look like video surveillance, others temperature sensors, motion detectors, fluid checks.
They're not even the same kinds of sensors?
Well, no. Look, and he pulls up.
Yeah.
He pulls up the data, and you can see that there are different sensors. Some of which are pulling in, and you see some of them are listed as like, this is a video signal, this is a fluid sensor, thermometer, barometer, motion detection. All of these seem to be the sort of thing that you would be able to track using standard smart home devices. Now, admittedly, not everybody needs like a fluid.
I was gonna say.
Well, some people do. They put them in their basements to check for flooding. That
Right,
kind of thing.
which is nice.
But yeah, they're all just tracking this, but they all have ID names, and these names are corners. So there's like, for instance, Clanranald and Côte St. Luc. There's Sherbrooke and Argyle.
Dante kind of like squints at all of this data this information that he can see here. What this guy had all of these for? So strange.
I'm not sure, but at the same time,
What?
is he a weather buff?
A weather buff?
Well, yeah. I mean, some of these things are interesting. Like there's a sphygmometer, there's a barometer.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, he was certainly big into like nature.
Well, then there's your thing. Oh, I'm so glad. Obviously, this couldn't be some kind of like illicit activity if it's tracking things like the wind and the air pressure.
No, exactly right. I mean, like, what kind of? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna sell it to somebody? Come on.
I just picked up another couple of commander decks. I was just wondering maybe if you wanted to sit down and we could get the gang together again. And
You not busy? You have a few
I'm never
hours?
too busy.
Are you, Trace? Let's fucking party. And he goes for a high five. Let's fucking party.
So he goes for the high five.
Oh.
Gets like
Oh.
1/5 of the
Oh.
hand properly.
Oh,
So it kind
buddy.
of is like, So it
jeez.
technically made contact, but there was no noise.
Sure.
No satisfying clack of the hands. He does not seem to notice it.
Hey, can I, do you mind if I have that back? Motioning to the SD card.
And he pops the SD card out and hands it back.
Okay. Dante will return it to the Raspberry Pi for safekeeping. And not bind it in the presence of his friend.
My Kickstarter from Wormwood hasn't come in yet, so I don't really have the gaming table of our dreams yet. But at the same time, I have the old fold-out poker table, and I could whip together some really good garlic bites. Maybe I could roll some pepperoni in there, but maybe not. I never really know. Like,
What do you mean?
well.
You always do so much.
Samantha. Samantha's been thinking about going vegetarian lately. I don't want to make her feel unwelcome.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. So it's good to have options. I feel you.
I wonder if I still have some of that Beyond Crumble in the freezer.
Why don't we have a look, bud?
Okay.
It's really kind of you to host.
Well, I don't get to do it very often anymore. And he gets up ever since you got really busy, and he opens the freezer, starts pulling out, like, he has packaged Ziploc bags with meticulous dates and writing on them as to what's on in each of them. Some of them are even label maker, like,
Oh my god, that's so good.
I do, and he pulls out some crumbled sausage that's listed as Beyond And then underneath it has little tick boxes, and it says like it's vegetarian, it's vegan, it's slightly spicy.
Spice mild, yeah, or whatever. Oh my god, that's funny.
Freaking god.
Yeah. Trace, you're right. Things have been really crazy lately, and I don't know if I ever see that changing, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping that we can make time when we can.
I just figured that you were starting to run with a different crew.
Kinda, yeah. And that's
that's when the frozen sausage sort of slips from his hand and clatters on the countertop.
No.
Oh, are they good? Are they cool?
I hope you'll take this with the intention that it's meant, but they are way cooler than you and me. Yeah.
Oh, everybody's cooler than me.
Come on, Trace.
But nobody's cooler than you. And starts taking out the sausage and no. He puts it back in the Ziploc bag and closes it, and he runs the sink so that he can start defrosting it in the water.
It's just, Trace, like, there's different points in your life where you find different, like, ambitions or goals, and you have to sort of reorient yourself. You have to pivot a bit. And I found that recently there was a couple things I needed to do.
Yeah.
And these two people were instrumental in making that happen. So I feel loyal to them now, And I don't think there's any reason that...
Well, hey, Dante, I think that's great. I mean, you deserve to be around the best people. Oh, he goes over and he takes a nonstick pan hanging from a hook, puts it on his induction.
Do I have to take willpower damage for this? I feel really like... I feel like I'm getting...
good.
Yeah, I think my heart is stopping. No, man, it's not like... Look, I believe really firmly, Trace, in the fact that everybody... The more we live, the more we experience. And the more we experience, the more our life expands to accommodate those experiences, right? We're always growing and we're always changing. And for me, what that means is that I've kind of opened up into another, like, social sphere. Like, I've got this one, which I think is really cool, but because of the growth and experience that I've gone through, I have another now too.
You've always had a big heart, Dante. I remember my mentor that I had when I was in elementary school, and he told me that when someone dies, it leaves a hole in your heart. But the trick is not to try to fill the hole. It's that your heart can expand. I would never want to limit you. I don't want you to think that you have to not make other friends because I might feel badly. I'm just really glad that you're finding your passion and that you're able to find people who are willing to help you with that. And hey, if you every once in a while want to come by and have a look at some things with me, I'm not going to be upset. I love that. I think it's really cool. I bet they're not really into Magic the Gathering though, or
Dante glances left and right and then leans in. I don't even think they know what it is. He's like fucking dead serious. I know. And what am I gonna do? Just like pull out a planeswalker? They're not gonna understand.
Well,
it's the extent of my MTG knowledge.
I think that the best thing you can do is to have fun with the friends that you have, with the mutual interests that you have, and you don't have to push anything on anyone. But what you could do is, if you're ever meeting up with them at like a coffee shop or something, and you're pulling your laptop out of your bag, you could just pull out one of your decks and put it on the table. But don't say anything. Let them bring it up. Because if they bring it up and they ask questions, then they might be more interested. Because I found that if I come at somebody and I tell them all about Magic, they don't really... They get
Respond
overwhelmed.
well, yeah.
But if you just say, oh, it's a game, it's a lot of fun, maybe one day we can play it, and you don't say anything else, maybe at that point they start thinking about it, and then they look it up on their own, and then that's how you make a new friend.
Best friends are the ones who want to get to know you better. It's true, Trace. You've always been very wise, you know?
Oh, I'm not wise.
Okay.
I just know that it's better not to be hurt. Better to be looking on the bright side of things. Like for Brian. You remember? We were watching that and I laughed so hard that I shot chocolate milk out of my nose.
I do remember that. Oh my god, we got it all over your couch. That was real horrible to clean up, actually. Bad news.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Dante whistles along.
He can't whistle though, so it sounds more like
Fuck's sake.
It's the way I used to whistle before I learned how to whistle.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Oh my god.
Hey, Trace, why don't you tell me about what's been going on with you, man? You've been meeting up with new people at the game store down the road? Oh my god, hang on, I'm gonna name one because I should. Valedcoeur, is that near-ish? Where is that?
Valedcoeur is located close to Sherbrooke Metro.
Sure. Okay, that makes which is actually
Or is it
pretty
Montreal?
close to the bar.
Montreal.
It's Montreal, I
But
think.
still.
Not too far from the bar, actually.
Funnily enough, Montreal Metro is actually nowhere near where the cairn is.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you could
you can get there.
walk for
You
half
can-
an hour.
Yeah.
But like
it's
you know, you found a new group down at the Valet or anything? I don't know
Oh,
what you've been
yeah.
up to.
lately it's been mostly Yu-Gi-Oh players and Flesh and Blood that have been coming in, and you know that I'm not going to give up certain places for my Friday Night Magic.
No one's tried to push you out though, huh?
No.
Okay.
Listen, I mean, I'm not a total pushover.
I know.
Come on, and he
Oh,
Oh no.
oh.
reaches out and he gives you a little bit of a push on the arm.
Okay.
But it doesn't there's no impact. It's just more of a
Ah, buddy.
Dante runs the Yu-Gi-Oh players out of town.
I just want to go find my like
Roast them.
random
Sorry,
magic
Yu-Gi-Oh
cards.
players.
Like,
Nothing
my
nothing
God.
to do with you personally.
Threaten my touchstone.
You threatened Trace.
But I've been looking at the Doctor Who packs in when coming out. I picked up the all the commander decks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's great when you see David Tennant staring at you with a foil version of himself staring out at you from the box.
Okay.
The 10th Doctor is my favorite.
I was gonna. I mean, come on. Let's be real. There are good doctors, and then there's the greatest. Am I right? Am I right?
I still think that maybe they could have done a lot better with Jodie Whittaker. She deserves the writing in that season.
Hey, why don't we call Sam up? See if we can get her around here. And maybe we can get somebody else back, right? Get a couple of people together. I have something later tonight, like late tonight, but it's late, so I've got a few hours.
Samantha,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah? I mean,
vegetarian.
is that cool? Yeah, you're... Why don't we see if we can get him around here sooner?
Yeah. And he goes over and he picks up his phone, and then he opens up his phone, and you can see that he's got his contacts all listed out, except that all of his friends, like including you, he has them listed as their nicknames instead of their names.
Oh, that's nice.
And afterwards, it's also listed the gang in parentheses after each one because he's categorized them all.
Sure, yeah.
And I could open up the old group chats and see who's available. Anyway, it's good to see you, Dante.
It's fucking good to see you too, Trace.
Dante's nickname in his phone
Oh my god, please.
is Morpheus.
So good.
Not from The Matrix, which I do really enjoy.
Of course.
It's actually a reference to the Sandman comics, because Neil Gaiman is so cool, but Dante always seemed to be on top of things, but every once in a while he disappears for a while, and I think maybe it's because somebody's stolen his mask, but no, it's actually just because he's got things to do.
But you like to think that I'm special. I get it. I'm mysterious. I have that kind of cachet, you know?
You know, until you find your death. I mean, I know that Morpheus and Death never really, but you know,
Yeah.
they're more like brother sister.
I know. Thanks for taking a look at that stuff with me, Trace.
Hey, you've seen Good Omens season 2, right?
No, I've been so busy.
We could put it on in the background.
I mean, sign me up.
Let's move on to something.
Okay. I think this is
David.
Sounds
is
like the
where it goes.
best hangout ever.
Cut to Macros watching the new DuckTales.
Woo!
And you're actually watching something classy. You're watching Broadchurch.
No,
or something.
Troyan's doing laundry and she has Coronation Street in the
There you
background.
go.
We need Tenet. We need Tenet. Oh God, good times.
Oh
Well,
my god, what a
I got what I
legend.
came for. A new NPC.
Yeah, but he's a touchstone.
Yes,
He
not
mechanically
new.
can be threatened.
Yeah, how dare you create this bean? Now he can be hurt.
John, I'd like to
God damn it.
delete this touchstone and buy a new one.
Wait. No, wait. Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to lock him in the safe house so nothing can harm him. Please.
Sad disclaimers. The last time that I played Magic at all seriously was in 2003. I haven't seen any of David Tennant's Doctor Who. In fact, I haven't seen most of Doctor Who. I've seen 3 of the Chris Ecclestons, and that's it. I have never seen Good Omens, the television show, although I have read the novel,
Hot damn.
and I have no idea how to play Commander. I've never touched the format. I'm so sorry. I'm just...
Role playing, folks.
Why'd you just roll a die there, John?
No, it was an eraser that he.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I
Like,
assume-
what's
I
he
assumed it had
doing?
to do with like committing something. or something.
It's like we need like an opposite disclaimer. We have the like opinions may differ, but we need a. I don't actually know anything about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite ticker. So good. Oh shit. Alright, guys.
I can't top that. I think getting
It's
We're done.
iconic. Thanks, Ernest.
like comfort.
I think
Exactly.
It's fair to
She-
say
she
that
grew up with it.
Dante will rejoin these two at the bar at some point, but of course, give them the time they need. But that this is going to be his afternoon and evening. I think it's pretty fair.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I don't know why we let that go on for that
It
long.
was amazing.
It was like
good times.
Oh my god.
Macros. Where are you?
Headed down the hill towards Bar Balthazar.
When you get to Bar Balthazar, sitting just outside the doors is one medium-sized raven. Looking up at you, there's a distinct sense that you have seen this raven before, because you absolutely have seen this raven before. But just looking.
Macros reaches into her pockets. Doesn't have any bread loaves shoved in her pockets, so just pulls out her keys and opens the door and sort of holds it open while looking around to see if anyone else is looking.
No one's looking. It's Bar Balthazar at
Morning.
Like,
yeah.
10 o'clock.
And it's on like a weird little side street.
It
Exactly.
really is
It's
such
so
a weird
out of the
little
way.
side street that
Yeah.
you would never
Iconic find.
bother to look. Yeah. Really.
The raven hops over the threshold and then just does another couple of hops, not really walking or flying. Just
I hope you're not a vampire. Closes the door. I invited him in. He's going to
Yay!
once the raven hops over to a place where
Yeah.
it isn't immediately visible through the windows, Theo takes form. A vampire? No, I'm not a vampire. I've only met a vampire once, and honestly, I'm not even really sure if it was a vampire or if it was somebody who was just leaving a goth club. Although there isn't really a whole lot of goth clubs anymore around here. There was the Goth Industrial Club, there was the Sphinx, that was really kind of cool, and then there was Catacombs, but Catacombs isn't even around. There was a lot of things that I really appreciated about both of those places, but at the same time, it kind of made my job more difficult because who the hell knows if you're going into those places whether you're actually a vampire or whether you're just 20 years old and you're figuring yourself out. And you really like the color black.
Just ate a ton, but are you hungry?
No.
Okay.
No, I ate.
Coffee?
Yes, please.
Macros helps herself to using the standard boring ass. Like there's a French press or something you said? That
There's
was
a
like,
French press for regular coffee,
Yeah.
and there is an espresso machine for espresso martinis.
I feel like as much as Macros would probably try to learn, it's just too highfalutin for her. So she boils some water for the French press.
There's thudding going around from the apartment upstairs. You can assume that someone's walking around up there.
That kind of thudding.
Yeah.
Not like rhythmic thudding.
Well,
Well, I mean, maybe.
know.
But
No
Is
one
it a
does it
washing
rhythmic anymore.
machine?
Everybody always
Is it
does it to
afternoon
Seabad,
delight?
so it's always just a little off tempo.
we have a lot of fun on this channel.
Oh my god.
You had yourself a little bit of a night, didn't you? I
Yeah.
have to say that's one of the werewolf moves that I've attended that it wasn't entirely useless. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult. It's not as if I...
There's a lot of jaw waggling and not a lot of doing, and people like to act like it's everyone else's fault. Especially here, it seems like all they want to say is blaming each other, and that's why no one's friends.
Well, jaw waggling is sort of the purpose of 1/5 of you, isn't it?
Yeah, but not like artistic jaw waggling or inspiring jaw waggling.
No, I was talking about your half moons.
Sorry, Kate's like computing.
Philodoxes.
Yeah. I'm like, what do they do?
The judges.
Judges. Okay, cool. And Ray was like, because when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, galliards. I'm like, wait, what's the
What I was
do?
talking about.
Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't really expect that you would be bringing in the Northern Guard. But I guess that wasn't you, was it?
Nope. But they showed up, which is nice. So hopefully we at least have one nearish Karen that doesn't suck. Not that the other two suck, they just need to get over themselves, need to get over the spat, and bury the hatchet, or actually have a challenge about it, or something. Just fucking do something.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. I mean, at least that's what somebody told me. I don't really know if that's really important or not. The same person also told me that the best thing that I could say is nothing, and I've had a lot of difficulty in that sort of area. You know what I mean. Sometimes your mind starts falling down a cliff, and you start realizing that it's like when you're running when you're falling, but you have to run really, really fast, and you realize that you can't actually get your feet up from under you. So you're really just delaying the inevitable. And in fact, you might be speeding up and up and up and up until you're eventually going to take a tumble. And that's how my thoughts work.
Legit. Mood? Let's say mood. I feel like Macros is younger than I am. Mood.
What are you going to do next? I'm not going to pretend that a place of power that's been weakened is not,
Yeah. Make sure that downstream doesn't end up with people who don't understand or respect it. As much as, they may respect the concept of it being a place of power, I don't think they would actually respect what specifically it is. I don't know. I was hoping that it would bring everyone together and it would have like a collaborative community building exercise, but I feel like if anything, it's worse.
I was going to say at least nobody died, but that's not exactly true.
He signed his own warrant many, many moons ago.
But wasn't it a success anyway? I mean, diplomacy is the sort of art of taking really tiny steps, and then eventually they get to be larger steps, and then eventually, you know, Japan and the United States, they're still friends.
Yeah. I mean,
Macros, you saved his life.
yeah. That's exactly it. I made a stand. I was all like, bring him to justice, give him a chance. And the chance was see whether or not he survives, and I totally ran in and interfered. I think he has information, but then Dante also possibly found information, so maybe there's nothing more from him. But he was like, the one thing I know that he's done. Obviously, he's lived a whole life, and he's done a bunch of shit because he was working for someone shitty. But he found information. He was misguided in how he chose to act on it. But there's just a sliver of hope in me that Gaia will be better served having one of its own still alive and kicking, as long as he can be put into a place where he can be focused and not serving the spiral. And if not, then I'm sure he'll get himself into trouble again, and someone will happily take his head off.
I'm not sure that everybody is going to support you in what you decided to do, but I do. Look, death is one of those things that's awfully permanent. You know what I mean? And sure, some people gotta die. I understand that. I really get it. Like everybody who drives a BMW. But
I suppose as a cyclist, you would hold those opinions.
I just don't understand why they can't fill their blinker fluid every once in a while.
Look,
But
it's very expensive on those cars, okay? It's one of those things they're adding those subscriptions for, turning signals. No, those cost extra.
Wow.
But that said, you don't deserve to die because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And I just hope he has more information, which means I have to find him. But I'm really worried that Troyan is right, and that because we were involved in sparing him, we're going to become in charge of him and responsible for him, which I don't want, because he's not my fucking problem, but he's kind of my problem.
the hunt was called and everybody there knew what the hunt was for, and nobody successfully took him out. That doesn't mean that he's your responsibility. That's not how this sort of thing works. Troyan didn't kill him either. Which means that Troyan isn't right or wrong. Troyan sided with you. I think that's Troyan upstairs.
I hope so. I mean, if it turns out to be someone else, they've forfeited their life, so.
Macros, I've used half a bottle of this Aesop soap to try to get the stench off me, and it wasn't cheap. What do you use?
Dawn,
Like the dish soap?
you've seen those ads with the cute animals? You're a cute animal.
You could
There's-
bring some up to her. I'd bring
There's a
some up to her, but
swear
I think
and
I
a
would.
slamming of the door.
I don't think that I would survive. I'm sure there must be Dawn behind the bar. You could go up there and you can offer it to her. You can do that sort of thing, you know, where you put your hands over your eyes and you just like shove your hand through the door, and maybe she'll like grope around for a second outside the shower, and then she'll get it, and then she'll be able to pull it back in. And
Like, Marcus grabs the jug of dish soap from under the sink and just holds it out towards him.
I'm not gonna do it.
Not gonna deliver, delivery boy.
Are you?
I'll do your job for you.
Runs behind, snatches the Dawn out of Macros's hand.
Meet cute.
My.
Meet cute.
If she kills me,
Knock.
well, of course I'm gonna knock.
But she won't kill you.
Well,
Probably.
What is
Theo heads
Macros pours
upstairs.
the coffee.
Yeah.
Or, like, pours the water for the coffee to brew.
Where's Troy right now?
She's in the apartment. The
Trying
door.
to scrub a horrible stench
Yeah.
off of
Yeah.
herself?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it only lasts a scene, but I love the flavor.
Oh, it's
But-
in your fur.
Who knows? Maybe it's mostly in her head.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to
there
be
we
like,
go.
rules-wise,
Exactly.
so that you know. But, like, flavor, thumbs up.
But where is she in the apartment? What is she doing?
She's in a towel in the main area. She's not in the bathroom. She's like opening all of the armoires and the drawers to see if there's any like Dawn dish soap just in a sock drawer. Next time, warn me before you stink up an entire forest.
So there's just a hand visible from the door, which is holding a bottle of Dawn dish soap. Theo, if Troyan decides to poke her head around the corner, Theo's got his hand over his eyes and pressed against the side of the door in an attempt to make sure that he is not violating some kind of privacy whatsoever.
Hi, Theo. Smell my arm? She sticks her arm out the door.
Okay. Just turns his head.
This fucking thing.
I mean, are you looking for me to comment on the?
I need feedback. Do you smell anything
You
on
clearly
the
have.
negative side?
Oh, negative side. That's different. You have awfully good taste in soaps.
Thank you.
I imagine it's probably not your skin. And then, as if like thinking, like,
What do you mean?
it's probably your hair.
She grabs the Dawn from his hand and
Closes the door or leaves it?
she doesn't close the door, but she stalks off towards the bathroom. The shower turns on again.
I just ordered hydrogen peroxide like
Nice.
4 minutes before the stream went live. Maybe that's why we got drop frames.
Yay.
By the way, we haven't had drop frames
Okay, great.
Okay.
for a while.
Now that we've said something.
Yeah.
But PSA, before you dampen your dog with stuff, apparently there's something you're supposed to do to them before you get them wet. So goodness forbid you have a pet that gets skunked. Google it before you start doing stuff, as much as you
Werewolf
desperately-
treatment does not necessarily
Yes.
apply to real
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take this as a recommendation, but yeah, Google it fast. Or Bing it.
I think Twitch is most likely experiencing issues.
I think so.
Because we're not dropping frames currently. We haven't for the past hour. So apparently we're sometimes having issues, and that's when everybody is seeing it. But I think individuals may be having issues with Twitch on their own. So let us know. But yeah,
Thank you.
because that's the weird thing. If individuals are having the problems, then they'll think that they don't know where the problem is. But if we have problems, everyone will have a problem.
Yeah.
So
And it usually shows up for us on like disconnected from server or whatever too.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen
yeah. Lemon Fresh Dawn. So here's the weird thing about dish soap, in case you don't know out there. Shampoo and dish soap are basically the same thing. You can wash your hair with dish soap. It doesn't feel as nice on the hands, like they, make it so that it's got a more pleasing texture, maybe more pleasing scent. It might be a little less harsh depending on what kind of shampoo you're using, but they are basically the same thing. So if you ever need shampoo and don't have it, dish soap. You have that one for free.
Oh, thanks. John tips.
Probably won't leave you shiny and luscious, but
Mhm.
gets rid of the stink.
Whether or not you actually smell, that's up to you. You can decide. But as you are washing that werewolf out of your hair, you can hear, still from outside, but with voice raised just enough so that you can hear, I thought you were really brave what you did.
I was wondering how long you stuck around. Do you mean casting a black spiral dancer into the fire?
Killing a guru isn't easy. Never is, even if it's easy to justify.
What about satisfying? Felt satisfying killing him.
Well, I would imagine. But that was the only one you killed last night.
Yes.
And I think that was brave.
What would you have done in my shoes?
You mean if I was a glorious Arun?
Sure.
It's a really tough question to answer. Because I'm not you. I don't have your experience or your connection with Gorgon?
Gorgon. Medusa.
She says washing her hair.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I think when you're as great a hammer as you are, every problem starts to look like a nail.
I'm very good at hitting nails. Nailing.
Of course you are. I've seen it. There's poetry there. Depending on the kind of poetry that you're into. I'm not really that much into poetry. I sort of feel like the stream of consciousness thing is overdone. But you had someone's life in your hands and nobody would have blamed you for taking it.
The problem that I encounter often, Theo, is I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at getting them to open up to me. But if that fails, and I still perceive that they could be a threat who could hurt others, I feel like it's my job to do the other thing I do best. It's not pretty, but I think that my packmates are often more focused on doing what they feel is right. I think I focus more on doing what is necessary.
Necessary or just?
I don't know if I have the right to dole out my own brand of justice. I try to focus on Gaia's. Sometimes they get confused.
That Philodox who visited from the Northern Guard said that essentially you had the right to dole out your own justice.
It's true.
And that was somebody who was ostensibly speaking as the word of Gaia, right? A Philodox? Half Moon. Isn't that that's their sort of deal?
Right.
Sort of passed it off onto you, didn't she?
When it came to any percent, and this isn't my point of view all the time, it was more about mitigating what he could do, rather than punishing him for what he did. Did he deserve to die? I don't know. Would fewer people be hurt if he had been killed? I guess we'll find out.
I know an awful lot of people who have the potential to do awful things. They're called Guru.
How do you feel these days, Theo, now that you're able to move around but you're not at home?
The water coming from the shower gets just a little hotter, and it is wonderful for just working out the tension that builds up in muscles itself. The air becomes heavy with humidity, and I'm not sure whether that's the sort of thing that would comfort Troyan.
Ugh.
I feel like I'm starting to understand a little bit more about prejudice.
How so?
You're the first guru that I've spoken to in a very long time, more than just a couple of sentences, and you're the only guru who know who I am currently. You don't have the best reputation as a group, but that doesn't mean that you deserve it. And that doesn't mean that individually you don't have this capability and the power to bring something really good for Gaia.
A scary reputation can also do good for Gaia, if the wrong people are afraid of us.
I don't know if I want warriors for Gaia who are doing it because they revel in the idea of tearing flesh, or if they're doing it because they believe that it's what they have to do because it's what somebody told them a very long time ago. I know that you help people. I know that you care about them. I know that you give a damn. And maybe that makes it a little easier for me to trust you. All of you. All three of you, not just you. No, not just you. But having your goals aligned doesn't necessarily mean that I can trust. Because, obviously, if you want it for the wrong reasons, then eventually when you get what you want, things change. Victory tastes like ash.
I think what people don't often realize is there are degrees to trust. You can trust someone to water your plants when you're out of town, but you wouldn't trust that same person to feed your pet. The trust that I feel for Dante and Macris and you, to be honest, it extends a great deal deeper than other guru that I would trust to stand by my side when we run into battle. Hunt down a ragabash that doesn't want to be found. But I don't know what they're hiding. And I don't trust that that secret won't hurt us.
What if somebody came to you for help because they had been brought up to believe something that was wrong? That they've spent their entire lives believing in something that in one moment their entire world came crashing down around them because they realized that they've been sold a lie by abusers, racists, any number of other kinds of despicable people. And that they have just finally realized that they've been living this awful, awful life up until this point because they didn't know any better. And they asked you for help. That if anybody found out that they were betraying these people, they'd be killed. Would you help them? Would you put them in a room that you've lovingly created behind some barrels in the basement? Out of the sheer goodness of your heart.
I don't think you should talk about the goodness of my heart. But I would consider it. Did they want help to hide? Did they want ideas for how to make reparations against the people that they'd hurt? What were they going to do to turn things around when they emerged from that dark room in the basement? If someone has done that much hurt, I can't just let them hide. They have to be hiding for a purpose. To do something better than what they were when they went in. I don't feel the same about people I deem to be victims. I realize it's subjective.
That's how I know about the goodness of your heart.
Just don't say it, right? It feels weird.
If I have any faults, and I know that I must have many, my inability from keeping my mouth from moving is one of them. I apologize.
All right. Can you pass me my towel? Sticks her arm out from behind them.
So he steps into the apartment finally.
Oh shit, she's really been yelling this whole time.
I only trust you and...
Well, he has
Okay.
exceptional
Bang,
hearing.
bang.
He's
No,
been able to
that's
hear
true, actually.
from this.
That's true, that's a good point.
And he looks and he tries to find like a good towel, one that isn't already wet. Because is there another towel? Because you wrapped yourself in a towel previously, and I assume that you got back into the shower too.
I did.
So tries to find that and he folds it up, and then he once again just very lightly puts his hand out.
She wraps it around herself. Thanks. What happened to your girlfriend?
My girlfriend?
You mentioned her. She said that you talked too much. You were considering moving in together. What happened to her?
She caught a case of the knows better.
Well, it's her loss.
No, I think that it might have saved her life. Not from me. People who get tangled up with people like us, they don't even understand what happens to them before it does.
She suddenly looks quite conflicted at that. I'm gonna get changed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Thanks.
And he turns and he heads out and closes the door, whisper quiet.
She sits on the bed quietly, in her towel. For several minutes before getting dressed and heading back downstairs.
Theo comes back downstairs. He's alive.
Hey.
Acris pours him a cup of coffee.
I never got close enough to find out whether or not she needed the dawn, but she took it anyway.
It's always darkest before the dawn. Yeah, I'll stick to insults. I need a break. I'm good. I need. I need to use the washroom. And
I think it's actually
you're
time for a break
building
anyway.
to that point.
Popping ass.
All right, folks, if you are not currently subscribed to us, you are going to hear, unfortunately, an ad or two. We're doing this to make sure that you don't get ads during gameplay. But otherwise, if you have any questions, by all means, ask us. We're here for you.
For you. My favorite. Unreal. Yeah, it was just a very. I was a little distracted because I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. It was a whole thing in that corner. Yeah. Okay. But that's the great thing about the sun. It moves. Well, we move in relation to it. Fuck off. You know. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, there you go.
How much was Trace made beforehand?
Oh. Yep.
0.
I've forgotten your name. I'm sorry. There's someone who's Orange Asp, who's relatively new in the chat. Hello, because there were questions about mechanics and so on. And now that we're on a bit of a break, I can tell you about them briefly. Anyway, Werewolf 5th edition has a relatively streamlined character creation process, even for a storyteller system World of Darkness game. With dot distributions, etc. But one of the things that you do, which I really like because I feel like some games don't do this, and it's important, is that you, in addition to possibly choosing contacts, allies, mentors as some of your advantages, you have to choose between 1 and 3 touchstones. People in your life who ground you as a creature of rage, someone that you can spend time with who will help you, get rid of some of that rage, help you relax, help you stay connected to what matters. And the reason I like it is because it forces the players to create relationships. I'm a lone wolf. I don't have anyone. Fuck you. Also you may be in a pack with your fellow players, potentially. But touchstones, mechanically have the ability you can reduce your rage when you spend time with them. You can also switch a point of Hirano and Hoglosk. I think you can swap one
You
to
can
the
move
other.
one to the other.
Yeah, if you so choose, because one of them's getting too high, say.
Mm-hmm.
Those are tracked stats that indicate either how close you are to giving up the fight or how close you are to tipping over into blind, destructive rage. It's a pretty good summary. Anyway, touchstones, I think it's just a really cool addition. In Exalted, you can have intimacies towards people or things. This is similar, I would say. But all my thoughts about that. But they're crafted in the sense of like they have to be created at character creation, but I don't think any of us necessarily kind of created a whole image of these people before bringing them into game. I just wanted to because first of all, it's an interesting kind of relationship that I wanted to start exploring, and also I wrote fellow tech dealer as like the heading for that character, and I was like, oh, this would be someone who could help Dante with this problem. So there you go. That's my thoughts. Can I get you more water or anything?
I'm good.
I'm gonna do that. BRB, and hopefully rotating with another player momentarily. Oh, yes, nailed it. First.
Yeah, if anybody out there has any questions for me, then I'm right here and ready to answer. Sorry about the technical difficulties that we had earlier. It looks like on our end, at least, they seem to have been resolved. So we'll just shake our fists at Twitch and hope that that's not going to end up being an issue. Which one? Orange or strawberry? I think orange. Neither.
This is the IKEA chocolate.
Oh, IKEA
I
chocolate.
was buying bowls.
Yeah, no, we're not dropping any frames anymore.
Yep.
So I have a feeling like it just might be one of those days where they're
Switch
experiencing
or
very minor issues, or ISPs in general.
I checked our ISP. I checked Amazon Web Services, but there might be an ISP. Verizon. I don't know. Insert American ISPs here. Gwen, look. Stripes.
Stripes. I don't know why specifically Aragorn needs to see the stripes. And
You
Ellie
decided
spotted
that
your
she would.
video on.
Yeah.
They're great stripes.
Most
Thank you.
appreciated.
Love them. Stripes. I got myself some stripes.
Thank you for break. I needed that.
Stripes.
Yeah. Well, at least you're not completely divided. So
Yeah. We've managed to split the party within the building.
there's probably going to be a couple of gifts that'll come out of earlier in the session. The two of you were yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very giftable episode.
Especially when Kate like fully cocooned. It was so good.
But we'll have to see.
And clips of you talking about, Commander decks and baking delicious bread.
I've never made challah.
Me neither.
I feel like my dad might have tried once. There's like a year or two where he decided he really wanted to bake different breads.
I'm wondering when one of our players is going to have to learn the rite of contrition. Which is essentially just I fucked up and I need to make a big ass apology, right?
Mm-hmm.
My ears are burning.
Dante.
I actually don't know what's going on.
Just comes out from the curtains.
Hello.
Hello.
We're ready to come back to things?
Bon. Yes, I am.
Anything else that you needed to accomplish on your own before gathering together?
No,
think so.
not for me.
Your apartment, Troyan, that's above Bar Balthazar. It's not very big, right?
No, because it's not where she actually lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very like, it's I think it's just like an open room and a bathroom. I guess there would be a little kitchenette if it was a separate apartment. So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like a studio basically.
Okay. Probably actually, considering where Bar Balthazar is, it probably does get some nice light.
Yeah.
You have plants up there?
No.
Ryan? No, fuck plants. Oh, okay. all
I
right.
realized, but I've accidentally made so many PCs plant lovers, so this one is not.
This one is just like,
Just
I
to
love
change
Gaia,
it
but
up.
fuck plants. Whoa.
She can't actually take care of them.
No, I get it.
She
You
sees
had
it as a kindness to not have plants.
you headed back downstairs after a bit?
Yeah.
As soon as you hear like walking around from upstairs and you hear like that telltale, very slight creak of the stairs as somebody's coming down, Theo snatches his coffee cup. I think I'm just going to go make sure that everything's dusted in the room downstairs. Yep, dusted. And then he heads down to the basement before Troyan gets a chance to arrive.
Oh, coffee, nice.
Is it like a big ass French press, like one that's enough to make several cups of coffee?
I think it would make 4. Yeah,
pretty big.
let's say 4 cups.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna make sure my work's done for the day before shop opens, and then probably head back to mine to crash and shower and stuff.
Can you smell my hair?
I don't know the brand, but it smells fruity and pleasant.
It's the dish soap.
Fruity and pleasant.
Great.
It doesn't linger.
You really wanted us to stay away from him, huh?
I knew I couldn't fight you. I definitely didn't want to fight you specifically, not because you're a cool fighter, because you're a cool fighter, but
Thanks.
because you're
You're
my
a
friend.
fighter. I wouldn't have fought you either. For what it's worth. I mean, you probably would have verbally decimated me anyway.
Well, you physically decimated me, and then we would have both been out, and then
I wouldn't have
would
fought
been
you.
down 3.
If you cared about him that much, that means something. Not him. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just seeing all of the discord between these two cairns. I just feel like we need to find a way forward, and I know I'm not the one to suddenly become a diplomat. But we've lost so much. And shithead had to die.
Downstream needs the numbers. Yeah. But it won't reflect well on them if any percent comes back and starts causing trouble.
I'll buy him a good leash.
Okay.
I mean, his honor's in the gutter. I'm honestly kind of serious. He fucked up. He deserves to literally be put on a leash. He'll probably get really pissed off, and hopefully he'll channel it into doing good. And if not,
Let's just say I don't trust him, but I trust us to be able to apprehend him if things go bad. don't know if a Slade is coming over for drinks later.
Let me know when, so I will not be here.
Ah, all right. Sure. Sure.
As I said, I'm not a diplomat.
Was that diplomacy? The yelling and the fighting that I heard when I was in the stink cloud? I was... You really hate each other.
No. I just think it was really shitty to try to pull a fast one and take downstream.
That was
And that
shitty.
she's being really shitty about Dante. She was being really shitty about Dante.
What did she say to Dante?
She was just shitting on him for his tribe.
Oh.
Because, downstream apparently didn't come to their aid, and that sucks. But the only way to assure that they ever will come to your aid is to try to patch it up. All she's doing is deepening the rift.
I don't know her that well, but I have a theory that a lot of the anger she's directed towards downstream is actually directed at her. She's the Arun. She should have been able to protect her clan, her sept, her pack, and she couldn't. That kind of guilt eats away at you.
And that's why you're gonna talk to her, and I'm not.
That's why there's alcohol involved. You really have a way with words, Macros. That's it. Just, it's impressive.
I guess that's why, Pets of the Quick was dropped at my feet.
Do you want it?
I don't know.
There were no other witnesses, so we don't start calling you that. It just
feels-
disappears into the...
Like showing my hand.
Like you...
It's like gun up my sleeve, or secretly transforms into a bear. I mean, it's a little less. It's more nicely phrased, but
But the difference is people can't defend against your verbal beatdowns. Just when they think they've gone in with all their fortifications up, you find some other way to absolutely destroy them. Even somebody who thought they were untouchable.
I don't ever worry that I changed under the wrong moon or have the wrong patron spirit, that's for sure.
No, it's very fitting.
Dante, I think, is off hacking the mainframe, or whatever it is he does that's really useful and beyond my
Beep
comprehension.
boop is the last thing I suggested that he does, and he didn't refute me.
Quick cut to Dante playing a blue control deck. And back.
What a dig.
Thank you.
What a dig.
A dick. That's funny. Again, I've exhausted my MTG knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course he'd play blue. Of course he would.
God. Just a boulder comes out of nowhere.
Oh.
Gonna actually open the bar today.
Well,
I know.
Legitimate business?
Apparently.
Yeah, I should probably haul some kegs.
I was thinking sometime this week we could do like a karaoke night. You don't have to sing. You just... If you could carry some speakers.
Yes, I can do that. Oh, for the bar, not for like...
Oh my god,
yeah,
no.
I thought this was some sort of pack bonding exercise that you were proposing.
I think I almost like coughed up a hairball.
Okay, yes, great. Karaoke night, it'll get people in,
Like-
and we can
Like a...
do a drink steal or something.
Famously,
Yeah.
Shonk's known for his rendition of What a
Cut to the
Wonderful
feeling.
World.
oh, that's nice. I would have gone with My Heart Will Go On. A
Oh my
classic
God,
karaoke.
Massy trees of green,
And
red roses too.
You're probably deafening everyone.
Good.
True to karaoke.
You might be Guru.
Wait, what?
Change under the moon.
Oh,
Oh, very nice.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
we like Sean.
Macros hucks some barrels around for a while.
Troyan starts preparing like mixers and sangria and all that jazz.
Shonk does actually show up so that, he can do things like clean and prepare for the day, cut a lot of limes.
No, lime is the
Oh yeah.
the fruit. Citrus.
Yes.
Yes, fruit. Citrus.
I figured the bar opens at around 2.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Dante, are you doing anything in particular other than playing Control, you wiener?
Wow, straight up and down. No, I'm gonna be rejoining these two. I think he's got a lot to consider in terms of what he now knows about the data from any percent. This we're gonna require some #thought.
All right, I'm going to have you roll because nobody's rolled.
No?
I'm going to need
Yeah,
to
that's
roll. You can
And I won't be rolling anytime soon.
you can either roll your intelligence subterfuge or your intelligence larceny to determine whether or not you win your game of magic.
Oh,
Larceny if you decide to cheat, subterfuge if you intend to.
Oh my god, does he cheat?
no!
Cheating is
Come on, with Trace,
Friends
With
too.
friends,
Like, it would
absolutely
just
not.
be such a dick
I'm gonna
move.
roll subterfuge. I
He's
have
not a wiener.
to ask
Dante is not a wiener.
whether
You're playing
Maybe
Control.
wiener
Subterfuge
dag.
is the name of the game.
that is fair. I have to ask whether this action has been carefully considered and whether I get a bonus from Fox.
Fox will not assist you in your game of magic.
Look.
You wonk.
You can see him out the window
gotta
just flipping you off.
Yeah, that's Fox.
Oh, no.
Well, that's what it is.
Oh, jeez. I only saw the 2 1s and the 2, and I thought it was like a brutal.
That'd be bad.
Oh, he's
Two
down to
successes.
1 rage, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
alas.
Yeah, you should all be a 1 rage.
Except for
Except for Troyan. who will
Hello.
Get there eventually.
Wait. Okay, we're just working it down the aisle, right? I'll be next.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll win.
Okay.
2 successes is enough. But yeah, no. If you at any point even so much as try to imply that Fox should be helping you out, Fox will drop you
Wow, damn.
like like a bad record.
I think Dante is, now that he's gotten some information about what any percent gave him, some information, he's using this time to like kind of decompress and enjoy himself and like remind himself a bit about where he came from. But he's going to rejoin these two just to communicate what he knows. Yeah.
So I'll let you do that.
Okay.
You can show up as the bar is still being prepared for opening.
Yeah, I feel like, Dante kind of slouches in as the people are maybe starting to drift in as well. Yes, I found something. No, it's just more mysteries. And he like sits down at the bar pretty heavily. He looks up at whoever's behind it. I don't know, Shonk. And he kind of nods and just Black Russian. And then he looks down for Troyan and
I assume that Shonk would recognize that he's like
Yeah.
different. So like he's not like we're not open yet. You Dixicle?
Dorcas Malorcas, yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I
They're a
think
Black
Troyan
Russian.
said something like, he helps with my finances.
He's my IT guy.
Tech, blah 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 blah.
I feel like I got a router
He's
before
my
I
bookkeeper.
start helping you with IT.
Oh,
That's step 1. You're
That's
helping.
step 1, yeah, I'm helping.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I'll
Yeah.
bring these two in close. Any
He's not going to overhear.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know if for some reason somebody decides to bug your conversations, but Shonk is not interested in what you have to talk
That
about.
would be good. Look, what I got from any percent. It's a map. It's a network of devices all across the city. That doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is that they're not all the same kind of thing. I was thinking cameras, motion detectors, some sort of sensors of activity, maybe underground even. But this is a whole variety of things. Things that would maybe play into napping weather patterns or just normal situations. I don't know.
Climate,
Ecology?
climata.
Oh, okay.
Climate.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they're doing plant shit.
Yeah.
So was he helping them or tracking them?
Well, this is what I don't understand, is that altogether, this network of data would provide you with a map of what? Of the city, you know? Just sort of its general standard situation in terms of how the weather is, what the climate is, etc. But what's he looking for? Was he what disturbances in that network was he on the hunt for? What was he hoping to see or find?
Do you have a theory?
I had a theory,
What was it?
and he was looking into something underground, which I
Like?
suppose could still be true. Well,
Literally underground or figuratively?
literally.
Okay.
Wherever Ken came from, there's going to be more of them. And I realize that I, of course, am a little biased, but I have the strangest feeling that it's going to be around here somewhere.
You think he was tracking a hive?
That's what I figured.
Oh.
But maybe I'm just being a little dramatic.
I mean, there is a lot of underground in Montreal, not just the shopping malls, not just the metro tunnels.
It would make sense. Any percent worked with and trusted Ken, but maybe he wanted some insurance. Maybe he wanted to know where Ken was coming from. No, he didn't. Hang on. Sorry, I'm going to backtrack that slightly.
Yeah.
He didn't know that Ken was a...
Yeah.
It is
Spiral
possible he was tracking this independently,
Exactly.
not being able to connect Ken to whatever this is. Or it's possible it was something else entirely.
Well, the other alternative, I think you're right, Troyan. Clamata. It's what he was looking into. It's what he wanted to find out. But their plan was to get into the middle of it, get into the organization.
Yeah. Take it over from inside.
A whole variety of sensors does nothing in terms of trying to figure out individual Bane spirits being planted somewhere near or on the mountain. That gives you a global picture of the city. And by the time that the global patterns in the city shift, maybe it's already too late. Something's already happened. I'm gonna figure this out. I just need some more time.
Would finding him be useful so that you could at least start with the knowledge of what he was doing? Would you trust what came out of his mouth?
Now that he's no longer reporting to Ken, I probably would. But at the same time, he could have told me something on the day. No?
I
He thought he was gonna die.
wasn't there.
Yeah. I told him I had seen the map, the network. I could continue his work. It's gonna be hard if I don't know what it is.
That means he had faith that you'd understand him. Or that he would survive long enough to tell you.
He's tracking readings. Does he have some kind of notification system set up where if it reaches a certain threshold, he gets a ping? He can't just be returning to his computer at the end of the day and taking down readings, can he? Maybe he's looking for something specific.
Makes sense? If a whole bunch of readings are abnormal, that would indicate that globally something is happening in the city.
Or like a specific spot, like how they triangulate cell phones in crime movies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
can't you just do that hacker thing where you go,
It's not really how it
I'm
works.
kidding.
Okay.
So you could do more investigation into
Yeah.
it. Remember how I told you, since you didn't buy your touchstone as an ally, he can't make the roll for you.
No, for sure.
Which means that you will need to roll your intelligence technology.
Okay.
Any percent, however, is no slouch and is not necessarily somebody who is going to be very open about what he's doing. So the difficulty is 4.
Can I make that roll now, despite not
Yeah,
being
yeah.
involved in that? Okay, cool. I will. I'd like to. Let's party.
Brutal outcome? I mean,
Oh
you
my
can't.
No, that would be amazing.
You don't have Rage 2.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great.
Ding.
A lot of successes.
So 2 zeros and 3 other successes.
That's pretty.
Holy
Sorry, I'm,
I gotta
sorry,
give some-
I'm just not expecting it.
I guess I got to get some stuff out, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on. John just has to.
Just like quietly flick the switch on the keyboard.
Yes.
Actually, mine is
Hack,
off.
hack, 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 hack.
Hang on. Well, I can help you.
Here, yeah, come type on my keyboard with
Quick,
me.
quick, quick. Water.
Come type on my keyboard real quick. Sounds like such a great like
Glass
pickup
Walker
line.
pickup line. Yeah. I like it. Hang on, I'm gonna write that
My
down.
keyboard real quick.
That's not.
Your suspicions are confirmed. A lot of the information that he was looking for are, as you like kind of cross-reference where each of the sensors are and what, they point to underground. They look specifically at places where there are major access points to large underground structures like sewers or metro tunnels, metro being our word for subway stations here, or even the underground city. In Montreal downtown, there's a section that is all interconnected that you can walk, but it's not above ground, it's below ground. They tend to be things like food courts, stores, and the like, but it's known as the underground city here. Even though it's not really a city, people don't live there. It's just a way for you to engage in commerce.
Shopping.
It's cold AF outside.
Yeah, seriously.
The other sensors, they also seem to be discovering patterns in these sorts of areas. When are they exposed to air? When do people move around in these places and at what times? And the system is trying to flag moments very specifically when these things occur after normal working hours or normal business hours, typically at night. It's supposed to send pings of information to another set of IP addresses, presumably ones that any percent also controls that aren't necessarily part of this device. It does not keep internal logs, so you can't discover what has happened here, only that these are what triggers it.
Okay.
But the fact that it doesn't keep internal logs is probably deliberate. If you're making code, you generally want to have a log file so that you can figure out what the hell's going on and to debug it if it needs any issues. You know, ask our resident coder.
Oh, don't make a log file. I just look at the console window, read what the error is, and fix it.
But no log file here.
Chaos coding.
Oh, I do chaos gardening.
There you go.
Interestingly enough, though, there's only sensors on the island of Montreal. None in Laval, none on the South Shore or North Shore, just on the island itself, but it blankets the whole island. Not everywhere in Montreal as an island. So if you look at Montreal on the map, which, hey, we can.
Oh, shit! Yay!
So let's have a look.
Boomerang shape island.
If you look at the island of Montreal, you can see that it in fact is not one big giant spot. It has a 2 islands that are kind of next to each other. One is the island of Montreal, and the other one is Laval. They're tiny islands also on other sides. But the island of Montreal itself isn't entirely habitated, right? If you go into the west of the island, there's large parts of it around here which are parks or other green spaces.
That's a slightly darker color.
Yeah. If you go to what looks like the north part of the island, but what Montrealers would call the east part of the island, these are also parks, golf courses, sparsely populated.
Damn it,
Right.
extend.
So he is blanketing just this island, not Laval, but he's blanketing the whole thing, which is a little odd because you'd think that if you were going to that much effort, you would also look on other islands, but he isn't. Or if you were specifically focusing on Montreal, you'd focus on where there are people,
Yeah,
and he's not.
that is odd.
Does it include Ile Bizarre or either of the manufacturers?
Like Nun's Island?
Very specifically, no.
No.
Ile Bizarre is not included,
Yeah,
nor is Nun's Island.
that's
Or-
not Doorbell. That's too big.
No,
I
that's
don't know what that is.
no.
But yeah.
Or Ile Notre Dame or St. Helens.
So La Ronde is not compromised.
No, it's the same.
La Ronde is
My
not
God,
compromised.
La Ronde
But,
is sacred.
but also interesting is that downstream is on Ile Notre Dame,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
right? Downstream is here. So if downstream isn't, if he isn't surveilling there, what is he looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff connected physically to the mountain.
Orangey.
Wow, burn.
She knows what's up.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
honestly,
it's like
fair,
Stone
actually.
Cold Reads, but I love it.
Okay. I have a feeling you're. Oh, not you're right. Kate's right.
Yeah, sorry.
no, no.
I
I
feel
was gonna
like
say.
if this information was relayed,
it's being
she'd
relayed.
say something like, yeah, it's connected to the roots of the mountain.
Of course.
Not that mountains have roots, but
Well, no, they do in a manner of speaking. Shit. Well, it does make sense, doesn't it?
It's getting close to opening time. You want me to unlock the door?
Yes.
Shunk comes out from behind the bar, unlocks the door, although nobody is currently waiting to get in, not right away, and then resumes his place behind the bar where, Troy, you're 95% certain that he's hidden like a phone just under the bar so that he is scrolling or doing something, because he seems to be spending an awful lot of time polishing one part of the bar and his hand slips below it every once in a while.
As long as the whole pre-open checklist is done, she's not going to read him for it.
She's a cool boss.
Well, she's just
Oh.
like, do your work, and then I don't fucking care.
yeah.
He does the work, but he's also putting forward the air that he is not uncaring of anything else. You don't notice him doing this when there's actually people in the bar.
Cool.
I think we need to let it cool off a little bit. Let Apotheosis find her feet. But I don't know about you two. I think we need to go after Clemata.
At some point, we need to have a plan, though. My wandering in there was a bit instinct and not
It worked.
forethought.
You learn stuff.
Fox wants us to think about what we do, look before we leap, which makes sense.
What if you monitor the readings for a while? And then maybe that will help us pinpoint areas that we should investigate. Maybe areas that can be tied to Clemata or Project Twilight. Or the...
It would be trivial for you to reconfigure the Raspberry Pi to start sending information to a place you want.
Great. I would like that. Thank you. Then I would do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Because maybe they'll be a little less well guarded, a little less secure than Clemata. We could just march in and demand that they tell us everything.
Huh.
Macris can insult them until they talk.
What's the plan with Weathered Storm, guys?
What do you mean?
Slade. What she did. What she tried to do.
She was being a Shadow Lord.
Yeah, I know. And that's fine.
She perceives downstream as weak, and she thought she was the one strong enough to secure it.
Well, it's a good thing it's not weak, right?
Right.
Apotheosis is making sure that it's hers.
Numbers-wise, I do believe she was wrong, and I'm glad we stood up to her, but she wasn't incorrect. They don't have the numbers to defend it 24/7.
Where's Peter?
There's like maybe a creaking sound as Dante's hand like tightens around the glass he's holding, and he kind of relaxes it before he
Don't
crushes
break
it.
my glass.
Shit. I don't know. And frankly, I'm a little surprised that he disappeared at all.
Yeah,
What he was
that's
if what he was doing wasn't so bad, why'd he run away?
I think I've got a few people to sniff out.
Customers are starting to filter into the bar. Not that that means you have to stop your conversation.
I doubt it'll be as easy as going for a stroll and running into him. But if he's gotten off grid, if he's left town, if he's like Ken, because Ken wasn't just acting on his own, I would assume. There are others like him out there. I think I have some hunting to do.
The dancers serve the worm. And I don't know if that's what Code 902 was serving. I always thought that his actions were strange and suspicious, and like I told you both, when everything went down, people didn't take my concerns seriously. Because they thought it was personal. And maybe it is a little fucking personal. But
Door opens up, and a woman walks in. She has slicked back hair, wet look, charcoal blazer, which has nothing underneath, and the V goes right down to just above her navel, where it's blocked by a belt, a very tight pencil skirt, and Doc Martens. Jennifer Slade.
Macris.
Macris
stands up
vanishes.
and heads to the storage room or the janitor closet or anywhere that isn't here.
janitor closet. No, don't find me in here.
No, but I feel like most restaurants and stuff, they have like the back like hallway.
Yeah.
That sometimes
Oh.
there are bathrooms there, sometimes it's separate.
Definitely.
But yeah, heads there. Just
Okay.
to
So
the
she's not
employee
leaving
area.
fully, she's just...
Not at the moment, but definitely like, I'm not gonna. This isn't. My presence isn't gonna be helpful.
No, you don't just straight up activate blissful ignorance and hope.
Jam hands.
Just sit there.
I have to be
Just
in
stands
group,
there
right?
awkwardly
Like I have to
there.
be in one of my forms for that one. So no, no, I don't. Suddenly switch to Rhinos. You can't see me.
Macris! Obsessed.
You're really scary. There's like a big monster next to you. You couldn't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Jen. Neat.
Troyan does not say the thing that immediately comes into her head, which is, oh, that's what Apotheosis drinks.
What? Don't say that. Don't
So
say
she
that.
shuts the fuck up about that.
Pea flower June.
She pours some Bombay Sapphire. And slides it across the bar and prepares, just pours a glass of scotch for herself.
You're staying at the bar?
No, because Shank has this under control.
So where are you want?
She nods to like a booth off to the side of the room.
This Dante's where probably you would be, using a laptop to figure out the Raspberry Pi at this point. She pays no attention to you currently. Not like in a
No.
I'm dissing, but like as if she doesn't even notice.
Okay.
Sits down wherever Troyan indicates.
Nice blazer.
Thank you. Have you slept?
No, I did laundry. So I felt like I was sleepwalking. Kind of went into a fugue state. You?
No. I have difficulty sleeping after moods.
Why?
The hunt does something to me. I can feel it. And even though the hunt is over, it will still take me some time before I wind down. At the moment I feel coiled, like a bed spring that has been pushed too fast, too hard. Without breaking eye contact, she takes the glass, drinks from it, and then puts it back down.
Have there been many moots in Montreal?
We hold moots at Weathered Storm all the time. At least once a month.
And is that kind of a...
It's internal.
Right.
Others may be invited, if they're friends of the cairn. Are you a friend of the cairn?
I think you'll be the judge of that. Are we a friend of the cat?
I leave the judging to others. You and I? We're far more about execution of a judge's whim. Or at least I thought we were.
You think I made the wrong choice?
I think you made a choice. That was what the Philodox let us do. I'm just trying to understand it.
Trying to understand why I made that choice.
Yes.
Because I realized I was angry with him. I was very angry with him. And it took a few very wise individuals to make me see that maybe I was more angry at myself.
Have you ever had carpenter ants?
No.
They bury themselves indoors. It makes them very difficult to find. I hated it. My apartment, every day I would see ants running across countertops, the floors, and I never figured out where they were until I realized that they were living in my bedroom door. I hated the ants. I did not hate the ant. There's no use in hating an ant. You can simply squash it, and then it's gone. And I never second guess about why I feel the way that I do. And so I'm wondering, why didn't you squash the ant? No one has to question whether you didn't hate the hive. And yes, I'm aware that an ant is a colony.
You and your pack mates, Cleaves the Lie and do Song from Beyond. If you had been in that same situation, and let's say Do had made a very compelling argument for letting him live. And what would you have done?
Who is the leader? In that moment, I would ask who the leader is, because the leader may not be challenged during a hunt.
Does your pack leadership change?
It can,
Depending on the situation.
depending on who's challenged for it recently.
I'd love to hear more about that. She's genuine, by the way. She's like... No, truly, our pack is new. We have not challenged for leadership. We discuss a lot. We have varying degrees of skills and weaknesses. And so for you, how does your pack work?
There are some packs for whom the leadership rotates depending on the situation. An Arun takes charge during battle, a Philodox when things must be considered, a Ragabash when stealth is required, Theurge when it is in the Umbra, Galliard whenever. And there are other packs for which a leader steps forward, one who has shown and demonstrated the ability to make decisions, both in peacetime and during war. That pressure, whether it weighs heavily upon the shoulders or whether it is lifted from them, matters not in their ability to cleanly decide what must come next. Currently, Cleaves the Lie is our leader. I have seen no reason to challenge him for leadership. Not recently. If he ever gave me position to, if he ever gave me a reason to decide that perhaps he was not able to execute, then I would. Because the pack is not strong if the leader is not strong. Cleaves the Lie still holds a lot of respect and sway. And so therefore I see no reason for us to weaken the pack by throwing that into question. Do you understand?
You said you have not had a reason to question him recently. Does that imply you have had reason to question his leadership?
Absolutely.
And you have not challenged him for it?
Not recently.
My pack wants to be a friend of Weathered Storm.
A wise decision.
I thought so. We are struggling to understand the history of that cairn. We know that something happened, something where the wound didn't heal. And without judgment, we are eager to learn anything that you would feel comfortable sharing with us.
Do you play poker, Troyan?
No.
At a certain point, there is a showdown. Cards are laid on the table, and you determine who's won. But if everybody folds before then, no cards need to be shown. Whether or not somebody was lying is not known, only that they have lost or won. You haven't been in the game long enough to see those cards. You're going to have to stay in and continue to bet, to wager, before we're willing to trust you that far. I tell you this not because I am ashamed of our past, but because it is the simple truth that were I to tell you this right now, I would be breaking an oath, one that I made with the rest of them. And as interesting as I find your pack, you are not worth disrupting that oath. Not yet. Glorious and wise as you may be.
Sept made an oath.
There's the distinct impression that she recognizes that as much as she was like, I'm not telling you anything, she, at that moment, told something.
Something, yeah.
I think it's remarkable and impressive that even with differing opinions and you don't all belong to the same pack, but the Sept can unite when you need to the most. That was how it was at the moot. Whether or not you all agreed on the verdict surrounding any percent and the other one, you presented a united front. Maybe Downstream could learn from you. Maybe we could learn from you.
There are many who could learn from me. I have no use for a pack that simply goes along with what the leader says at all times.
And yet you place great importance on having a leader.
Yes, someone must make the decision.
So someone must make a decision, but you should not always go along with it.
You must not always agree with it. There's a difference. When the leader makes a command reality, that is a command, and it should be followed. The purpose of a leader is to assume the responsibility of that decision. If you, an Arun, were instructed to fight because it is what your pack decided was the correct course of action, if you have given yourself to that pack and to the decisions of that pack's leader, then you will fight, whether or not you believe that the fight is right or wrong or just, because it is no longer your decision but your pack's that you have made, and the leader may not be challenged during wartime. But as much as it's important for a pack to act as one, that does not mean that a pack believes as one, and that decisions may not be challenged during peacetime, that opinions cannot differ, that discussions cannot be had. But in the moment, in the critical moment where we must act, there can be only one decision.
What happens then if your leadership makes a call, say commands the Arun into battle, commands the Shadow Lord to quash an inferior party, and you don't believe it is the correct course of action, but you do it, and afterwards it comes back to bite you in the arse? Is that your responsibility or your leaders? They commanded, you carried it out.
I am not so cowardly as to run from responsibility because I have put my lot in with a pack. If Cleaves the Lie tells me to do something that I disagree with and I do it, and later on that decision is proved to be unwise, then perhaps I should have challenged him earlier.
And you made that decision. I agree, by the way.
I do not live my life hoping that I won't make a mistake. I live my life moving forward.
She holds up her drink. To moving forward.
She, again, without breaking eye contact, reaches forward, lifts her own glass. This is a mouse.
Nice.
I can always drink to that.
If some trouble should arise from any percent being allowed to live, I will take responsibility for that.
We all must. I did not kill him. Nor did Sky.
I requested that you not.
And you believe that I must listen to you?
I don't believe you listen to anyone unless you have a very good reason to.
Then you will not take my responsibility from me. Again, disagreeing with me, that is encouraged. Voicing your opinion to me, I will listen. But don't think for a second that just because I choose to listen to you, that it means that I don't take the responsibility for my own action or inaction. I do not give so lightly to pretty things.
Good. Because I would look forward to hunting him down with you. Should the need arise.
Whether or not it was requested?
Yes.
And how would Macris and Dante feel about such an act?
I would not go against my pack. Not for that.
Is there a way that you would go against your pack? Troyan.
There was some issue of a comic at one point where one of the superheroes was kind of saying that if I needed to defeat all of my superhero allies, this is how I would do it. Blah, 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 blah. Listed it all out. I think that's incredibly stupid. Because if you have allies, then they're your allies. And only if they betray you will you burn their world to the ground. So no. I've not made allowances for when I would betray my pack.
You don't believe trust is a weakness. Good. You're thinking like a guru.
Oh, I'm so glad I have your approval. Do you want to stay the night?
I'm going to swap over here to our good friend Macris. Where is she?
Occupying herself with
Jen.
various tasks that need doing. And if it went on for a few minutes, which it has, she'd then head downstairs and see whether Theo is still around or if he...
Theo's definitely still there.
Right.
You see that he is scratching something into a small little book that he's got. Like a moleskin, probably. Or actually, let's be fair, the cheap generic equivalent of a moleskin.
Thank you, yes.
Alorama!
Honestly.
Do you want to bunk here some more?
At some point, I realize that I'm going to start running out of all the hospitality that's been offered me at this fine establishment.
As far as I know, we don't have an occupant tonight.
I think my home is still under heavy investigation by one or more government agencies, none of which necessarily work together. For all anybody knows, I'm dead. It's so liberating.
I guess you could take a peek, make sure they're doing okay. If there's anyone that you care about that would care that you were gone.
I guess that's important, isn't it? I used to think that maybe I was checking in on people a bit too often. It was a sort of thing where I was wondering, am I really important here? Am I doing this for them or am I doing this for myself? I have a brother.
Is he around here?
He lives in Chambly.
It's a bit of a distance, but not so far.
He drives a bus. He loves it. He sees the kids every day when they're on their way to school, and then he Gets to see them once more when they let off, and every once in a while he goes on field trips or the like. It's simple work, he says, but it's so important that for a few hours each day, he's trusted with the most important thing in the whole world. Someone else's child. And I start feeling like maybe he'd understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes it feels like I'm trusted with the most important thing in the world and I can't tell anyone about it. And then I realize he's a bus driver. And that's not quite the same thing as somebody who can change into a raven.
No, but I think that there are things that are seemingly small, oft overlooked, not often considered as grandly important, but like you recognize in him, there is great importance to what they do.
Everybody's important. And the most cynical among us says that means that none of us is.
It means we all have a chance to make a difference. Maybe that's seeming like a cog in the machine, making sure that a standard routine continues of kids getting to and from school. People's deliveries get where they're going on time. But there's more to it. Without you, there are only so many people in this world. Something would go undone.
And without you, they wouldn't think.
I'm the world's brain.
You ever watch a really, really shitty movie? A documentary, released a few years ago, but it really popularized the term catfish.
I feel like I saw it on the list, but it didn't seem important enough. It didn't seem like it was going to change the world.
It didn't.
I'm pretty snooty when it comes to documentaries.
You probably should be. But the whole point of a catfish is that you throw a catfish in a barrel of other fish and it livens them up. It keeps them moving in order so that they don't get listless and they just float and eventually die because they have nothing else left to do. So the idea was that, if you were faking being in a relationship with somebody by faking yourself, it was to keep everybody on their toes, and I don't really think that that's a fair comparison, but at the same time, you keep people thinking. And
I shake things up.
I think that's the important thing of what you do. I think that I don't necessarily sit easy when you're around, and I think that's good for me. I think that should be good for everyone.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's a place for us.
I don't have anywhere else to go. Other than the trees, which are not so bad this time of year. But I wouldn't mind staying here one more night.
I haven't heard word otherwise, so as long as Troyan doesn't come stomping down here, shoving barrels around.
I have a feeling like Troyan doesn't always need to come down here.
Or if it's also your secret sex dungeon.
No.
Okay, good.
God, no. I bought it with XP.
that's
I'm
my
not
story.
wasting it on that.
Oh. Waste?
Can I get anything for you? I'm gonna head out, but I can swing by a Dapper. The IGA is probably still open. Grocery store.
I'm alright. I've got everything that I need down here. Can you roll me your wits insight, please?
I'm glad I only have one rage. That is one success.
He seems content.
That's nice. Oh, great. We never worried about it again.
And
He's content.
Yeah, great. All right, great.
Check.
It is.
No, I know. That's why I think it's funny.
In that case, I think that, Macris is gonna mosey back upstairs and try to see whether or not, Jennifer Slate is still there, and if so, if she's, like, about to get a fist through her face, or what's going on.
Read the room, as
Yes.
it were.
Dante?
Dante is keeping himself busy. He's definitely working to make the data from any percent's like network available to himself. He's also sending some messages, which he's not calling anyone because he knows there's shit going down at downstream. But he's sending messages. The first is to Apotheosis. Using whatever network they normally
You have an email address.
Yeah, perfect. The first to Apotheosis, essentially saying...
Or are you sending an email, or are you sending, like, an instant message?
Yeah, no, an instant message of some kind. So he'd probably text the people that he knows. The message to Apotheosis is along the lines of... is downstream yours? When do you need us to come and look... when do you need us to... ... delete. I'm available to look at Thinking Engine if you need help. Sent. And then he's going to... Yep.
Why wait?
Okay. He's going to send a message to Peter, code 902. It's terse. Shit went down at downstream. I know you know. Where are you?
See, terse for me would be FKU enter.
That is terse. That's oof, even a little rude.
You get a message back.
Okay.
It's from Apotheosis. I'm here now. That's it. Peter is not messaging you.
Back to
You are left unread, sir. Actually, no, you don't. There is no read receipt.
That's it.
So, you don't know if he has read your message.
Straight back to Apotheosis. You were going to claim the Karen.
Technically, she already did.
Oh, that's true. That's right. She was like, I'm going to go do this. But you're right. No one challenged her.
Yep.
Are you safe? There you go.
Are we ever? Question mark.
3 rolling eyes emojis. Yes. And then probably a waxing, not crescent, the other one. Gibbous moon emoji. Which, if they don't exist, they
do.
Okay, good.
That's how I have them on my character sheet. They're emojis.
That's all.
I am alone here, period. She writes very formally, by the way, in her text. It's like using proper capitalization, punctuation, much in the same way that if you are familiar with the way that I text people.
Mm-hmm. I am familiar with it, actually, yeah.
John is wolf-born.
John is Apotheosis.
Investigate further. Dante blinks a few times at this most recent text and then looks towards Trium.
All right, let's come back to here.
John Theosis. Yay.
Here. Or, sorry, repeat what the last thing.
Do you want to stay the night?
Here.
Have an apartment upstairs.
Show me.
She gets up.
Okay, so
and
at
heads
this point,
for the door.
Dante's like, I wonder
you
if
look up, and then the two of them are getting up, and they're heading towards the stairs.
Sean, close the bar at the end of the night. You're in charge.
I was like,
All right, everyone, get out.
We're gonna take this baby down. Like, it goes at 4:45.
that was really fun.
Close
the bar.
Close the bar.
Good
I'm,
job.
it's at that
Walk
later.
out. My boss.
I mean, at the
gotta
time,
get
walk
out.
out when you're supposed to. Fuck.
You got it. Doesn't even seem to notice that there's somebody else walking with you.
Sweet. I feel like this has happened before.
Fuck, that's
A little shonky.
Well, the thing is that there's various times where you have walked away with someone else, either upstairs or downstairs, and he just part of the reason why he's such a great guy is that he doesn't ask
That's it.
ever.
Good old Chonk cosplay going
Oh,
on over here.
Jesus.
Sorry, no,
I thought you were doing something filthy.
No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I know where your mind is. I was just like, whoa.
Come on.
Okay, we're good.
You headed upstairs?
Yeah.
Also, I don't think there's this kind of twisting much.
Shank
Just saying.
is a mononym. There is no canon last name at the moment. Maybe you'll find out what it is.
Mononym. Really good.
Macris hands him his paycheck.
Oh my god. It just
Just
says
Chonk.
shonk.
Shank, comma, Inc. Shank, comma,
Of course
LLC.
it's incorporated.
8,921 Canada Inc. Yep.
Iconic.
She steps upstairs, sees the apartment. Spartan? Not
Yeah,
Spartan?
Spartan.
Made of money.
No, it's very IKEA showroom-esque. Without the extra flair.
What do you want?
You're not the only one who feels like a coiled spring after a hunt.
Good. And she picks you up and flings you against the wall. Not like,
Roll initiative. Oh, okay.
but literally just lifts you enough so that she can just slam you against the wall.
Troyan kicks her backwards with her feet to push her up against the wall. Trying to end up on top.
All right, well, that's a roll.
Fantastic. Here we go.
Who's on top?
Who's on top?
Have you
Good.
held? You haven't yet,
No.
have you?
What kind of roll
You
is
might
this then?
have to.
It's just going to be a straight up strength brawl. Thing is, you might not have any rage.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You said she was a coiled spring.
She sure did.
Okay.
Okay.
Successes?
6.
Oh.
Well, that beats my 2.
Oh.
Her breath gets pushed out of her as she hits the wall. And then she looks up, her eyes flashing. Just a coiled spring.
Troyan will opt to stop talking at this moment. And pinning her against the wall, dives in for a kiss. It's intense and it's hungry. Yeah.
All right, roll me your manipulation insight.
Oh.
I think you've got a lot of those dice.
I have motives as a specialty for my insight.
Yes.
Yeah, can you pass some of that over here? I go, thank you.
Popcorn.
4 successes.
I can enjoy this and work my way into her good graces.
If her manipulation wasn't 4, that would probably like jolt her out of it and make her like chuckle a bit, because that's very much what's going through her brain.
Go team.
But she's
fully
schools
conscious
herself.
of she's fully conscious of what this is.
Mm-hmm.
She has like there's no overt affection in this. There's no like, oh, I wonder if this is going to go past tonight. Doesn't care. She cares about exerting as much energy as she possibly can. It is not subtle. The bar will hear some of it. Not necessarily like know exactly what it is, but like there will be noises. Anything on your end?
Once she gains the upper hand, as it were, she absolutely keeps it, or does her best to keep it.
Okay.
She
There's no point where she wants to relinquish it?
She tries to be in control of that aspect the entire time, which seems to give her even more of a release than if that had been reversed.
Fair.
I mean, if they're making a lot of noise, she might howl. It might happen.
Gain 1 rage.
Yes. Here we go.
Just a point of clarification. When it's howl at the moon, do we mean it has to be the moon, or can it just be a moon? I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Dad.
Ow.
Oh, boy.
Just to know. Yeah. All right.
You regain rage by howling at the moon.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily see the moon to howl at it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is how I choose to justify it. A howl in and of itself does not. A howl that is exulting in your connection with Luna does.
Otherwise, she throws them up against the wall so hard that the windows shatter so she can see them then. Okay, great. Ow. In we go.
Incredible.
Where was I?
Where was I?
You might be in a dominant position. She is far from gentle. Macris, you're heading home?
Magnus would wait long enough to listen for signs of overt distress and destruction.
Distress, maybe some bed springs. Destruction, no. I don't think there's destruction happening.
Great. Macris will.
There's probably biting. No, there is biting.
I don't think Macris has that good ears. I don't have. Yeah.
Someone's
That sounds
getting up there.
That sounds like someone's earlobe getting 4 newtons of pressure.
Newtons. Very good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and heads back home to sleep.
You've been awake for
No, I slept for like 24-ish hours, a bit longer.
Woof.
36.
it's
Yeah.
closer to 36.
What? Whew.
Yeah.
You conk out.
Yeah.
Could I have you roll though? Just before.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to roll me your wits and larceny. Wits larceny. If you don't have any larceny,
I have.
just roll it
I
straight.
just had to figure out which column it is for this particular sheet. That is 2 successes. I
Your
rolled incorrect dice. I rolled a fistful of rage dice.
okay.
I was like, wait, why do I have
Fistful
3
of
rage?
Weird. I don't feel that angry.
Okay, well, that's now 4 successes.
You are relatively certain that no one has been in your place. No one's kind of found it, searched it, anything like that. I realize you didn't ask me,
No, but that's okay.
and I hope that I'm not making you paranoid.
They're 9.
but your place seems to be pretty secure.
Macra sleeps. She sets an alarm for an hour before bar closing so that she can be there to huck stuff for the start of the night.
You don't need to be there. There are other people who could. It's if you want to, but you definitely don't need to. Like, it's not like you're derelict of duty if you just sleep.
She'll set an alarm for before dawn so that she can howl at the moon.
Nice.
Work.
Fair.
Yeah.
Dante?
Heading to downstream, I think. Yeah. Well, I don't know. He needs to rest. It's a good place to rest. They need protection.
You get to downstream.
Yes.
The doors that were formerly like trying to be welded shut have been just ripped open at this point. No, like not
right,
not like you show up, everything's gone wrong.
There's blood
again.
everywhere. Oh no.
They haven't replaced nicely doors and the like. Like, I mean, when you left, you had to
Yeah.
tear open some doors, but when you get there, Apotheosis is sitting at the in like the opening sort of chamber where they had like the fridge and the kitchenette and the stuff like that, and then there's a few chairs and beanbag seats, some like public consoles that people could use. She's sitting there. She is dressed in a vest that's made out of electroluminescent material. The just as much kind of like, you know, EL wire is running through her hair. Her fingertips just blurs as she's typing away at the keyboard. You know she knows that you're there, but she hasn't turned around yet, as if she's trying to finish something before she devotes her attention.
Dante starts to head for one of the beanbag chairs and then doesn't sit on it. Instead, kind of goes to lean awkwardly on a surface. To the moon here or not?
No. I told you we're alone.
You think that's wise?
I think To the Moon needs to learn their place.
What's my place?
She turns, the chair swivels. You can see that she has just applied absolutely like fierce dark makeup as a streak across her face, just offsetting her face in zebra stripes. If you're asking, is it because you don't know? Or because you want to know what I think?
I want to know what the leader of Downstream thinks. The compass that points us towards the future. I know what my place is.
She looks around. I've been trying to remove the patch, and I can't. But I'll get there, with your help. Downstream is going to have to be rebuilt, from the ground up. The people, not the place.
Right.
It will be safe. It will be safe. Whatever place you have is up to you. You, and I imagine the rest of your pack, I know that there are sympathies towards the Cairn of the Weathered Storm. And I know that that can prove awkward. You're allowed to make your decisions. You can remain neutral.
It doesn't have to be awkward. You have history. Apotheosis. You've told us that much, at least. You've told us you didn't come to their aid when they needed it because you couldn't. The question is whether you're going to change that in the future. Being Guru isn't just about coming to each other's aid in times of war and need. It's about reaching out. There's an awful lot of people around you who you seem to think that because they haven't reached out to you that they don't want to be touched. Do you know what I mean? Your sister, Weathered Storm.
I see what you're trying to do. I don't have the answers for you yet. Not today, Dante. It has been a difficult day for everyone. And decisions are not easily made at the best of times.
That's true. All we can do is try to make the best decisions we have in the moment. And then, if they prove to be needing or lacking, we patch.
You wanted to know your place.
I want to know what you think.
I told you were welcome here. I told you that I would stand by you. I meant it. But your place? That's earned. Same as everyone else. Over time, through your actions. What matters is what you do. I will howl your victories and your defeats. But I must see them first.
Let's deal with this fucking patch. Dante's eyes flick momentarily to the mini fridge where there were some energy drinks before, and he's like,
Oh, yeah,
thinking like, I'm gonna need some of those.
There's definitely some energy drinks there.
Let's fix this fucking patch. Rip it off if we have to.
Lead the way. Spirit Tripper. I'll be right behind you.
Grabs a drink, cracks it, takes a gulp, and sits down at what was probably once, in his mind anyway, his station.
And I think we'll end the session there.
Well.
Well,
Hello. and
they're
welcome back.
they're fixing the patch.
Am I the only,
No sexy times.
Oh.
No sexy times. Oh, I didn't even make notes. I was so in the scene. Whoops.
Goodness.
But yeah, he went to downstream, and she was like, "Oh, your place is earned through your actions." And he's like, "Great, let's fucking fix this shit."
Oh, nice.
No sleep for Dante yet.
Pretty much.
No! Sleep! Tell Brooklyn! No.
Well, weren't there, like, fridges full of energy drinks and stuff? So healthy.
Exactly where my mind went.
Moot point is up. Vote for those of you who are using Twitch chat features that allow you to. Those of you listening on podcast and watching on YouTube. Sorry.
Ergwin, if you can post the mood point, just so that then I can slap it up on the
I would just like write
screen. Yeah,
in text.
because then feature chat I can.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right.
Wee.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay. Just
Elizabeth,
Yes.
what'd you learn today?
That I think Troyan's starting to pinpoint where she and Jennifer Slade have a lot in common and where they think very, very differently.
Okay. Scott?
Dante learned that any percent had been monitoring a network of sensors around just the island of Montreal to do with underground disturbances.
Okay. Kate?
That all is not lost in terms of pack cohesion and shared mission. But also that Troyan has interesting methods of diplomacy.
Diplomacy is an art form. You have many expressions.
Liz, do you want to call someone's play out? No.
Just
One day out. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to decide between them. I'm gonna say Dante's, like Scott and Dante, your establishing of Trace. This also goes in as a tip of the hat to John, but just that whole scene, it really felt like they knew each other, and you had just thrown out some descriptors. And then the two of you worked together to create this really lovely relationship. And Kate and I were both like, hey! So, like, kudos to both of you and to you for creating that character.
Thanks.
Scott?
Yeah, I'm going to call out Kate as Macris. I actually really liked Kate. It was quite early on in the session, but Macris managed to kind of succinctly communicate why it was her choice to help any percent or help any percent survive. And I feel like it was really nice to have that out there in the universe. And maybe it was also nice to see Theo as a bit of a sounding board almost for Macris. I just thought that was a really nice moment to sort of have that communicated. Yeah.
Kate?
Awesome.
I want to shout out Troyan for choosing to play up the stink and the scene, the interaction with you, like that whole interaction at a distance, but like also, as much as other people are trying to ship you to, I still think I don't know, I'm really enjoying the different relationships that we're all developing with Theo, but like I really like that whole interaction and
Thank you.
Sweet.
also congrats on the 6P.
Oh, thank you.
Are we tracking it some way, guys?
I don't know.
If we're gonna make our kithing list again, we have to start now.
Oh shit.
We're trying to catch all the auspices
every
and
auspice,
tribes.
every tribes. Not every combo there.
Every auspice, every tribe?
Not every combo though.
Not every.
Fine.
Jesus.
So theoretically, it's just 13.
So some people
between
can
the
double
three
up.
of us.
So then that means that there has to be at least 6. Well, no, that means there has to be at least 11.
Aragorn is requesting a sex peek.
Yeah,
Do you want to take that down?
Perfecto.
So it's collective
You
All
have
right.
earned.
So, Shadow Lord Arun.
and not
Ding.
Yay.
We like to keep track of.
Oh yeah,
sorts
let's
of things.
you down.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
And yeah, just to tack on again to what I was saying, John creating Trace. That I know that wasn't prepped. I know Scott just threw a bunch of stuff at you, and you created such an endearing, wonderful character that felt fully realized.
Yeah.
He wasn't a caricature.
Yeah.
I know it feels, it feels like he could have been, but I don't know.
No, he definitely had a heart.
Felt like he had a
yeah.
dimension to him, little guy.
His own little
guy.
dimension.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I think you're right. I'm just so used to the other books having 13 that I'm just like, oh, it must be 13.
There are 11 tribes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I assume that you're not assuming that the Geta
Fenris
Fenris are still a tribe.
No.
Do we get both?
Or
Or the Stargazers, who are the other ones who
yeah.
fucked off.
Do we get a bonus?
No, we aren't doing all the combos.
No,
We're just trying
combos.
to get
Well, I mean, the campaign might go on for a little.
I mean, yeah, 11.
I mean, 55 is possible.
John, I'm going to need you to introduce some very specific NPCs. I kid. Sorry.
Yeah, now it's the Cult of
Now-
Fenris, you're right.
Thank you.
Because it's not the Get. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet one of the Fenrir.
Oh.
We already have.
Oh!
Ooh, it's been solved.
Already.
Night.
Well, can't wait.
I believe it's green-white.
Okay.
Woo!
Green feels
Forest
appropriate
lighting.
to me for a lot of guru in a lot of
yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Green white is the most wolf deck.
White is like protection and healing, though.
It's order.
Order.
My answer would have been green-black, but
Yeah.
I also have not played. I don't.
That's it, right?
Who
Like
knows what
at
it is
this point.
these days?
maybe all the things are different from the random colors that I
So
missed.
many enchantments. Sorry.
Oh, very good, very good.
Well,
Well,
I hereby award you 3 XP in addition to the XP that you got this session.
yeah.
I understand.
hooray!
No, we'll make it 4. You get 4 currently, right?
Yeah,
We'll make it 4.
Okay.
So you'll get 4 XP for the end of the story.
Wow.
As next session, you'll be able to time skip your way forward.
That is exciting. Ooh, what are we gonna spend it on? Sorry. Yeah.
I marked that checkbox off, and I am.
I am complete. Excellent.
So,
What's happening between now and
that's a good question.
now and next session?
Yeah, we have streams throughout the week as part of this community. I'm streaming Tuesday night on twitch.tv/BiffTheBoss at 1800, 6 p.m. Eastern. Chance of Sonar has been really, really fun, and the Emperor Scottimius needs to continue to party with his common folk and deliver some vials of, I don't know what, I think it's booze or something. It's awful. Yeah, I got caught in a horrible time loop of bullshit, and I need to get out of there, so that'll be fun.
Wednesday, I'm hoping to stream. That's the best you're going to get from me at this point, because work has been
Worky.
busy, but I believe Wednesday I should be able to stream. If not, demain? Question mark? I mean, like,
Tomorrow.
the
that
things,
is.
it might be tomorrow, it might be Wednesday, it might be both, who knows? But like the point is, I'd like to try to get a stream in this week, and I know that tomorrow is a possibility, and Wednesday is a possibility, and Tuesday is definitely not. So we'll see.
Okay. Sweet.
Friday, there should be Punchy, but we are picking up Laura from the vet because she's getting neutered this week. And if traffic is terrible, we might not make it back in time, but we're going to try.
Correct.
And then
Don't
Saturday, there is no Drew Crew, and there is no
Correct. No Saturday streams from the
Yeah.
usual cruise. We have another
engagement.
Exactly. But that's our Saturday.
Oh, then I might.
Pick it up.
I won't have a lot to do on Saturday.
Oh.
you
Yeah,
go.
because I'm going to be spending the next month in another province called Prince Edward Island. I'm going to be doing a Christmas show there, and we are going to be doing our utmost to make sure that stream can continue effectively and modified. I will be in a slightly different location. I probably won't have this beautiful background, but we will do our utmost to make sure everything goes ahead as usual. But should something go awry, we have now opted for the opportunity of a time skip, etc., so that something will still happen next Sunday.
Yeah. It should be pointed out, a lot of this depends on the excellence of Kate's internet access,
Yeah.
as well as our own, apparently, although it seems like there was no other major event that occurred. Question mark. We'll have to figure that out, but I have a feeling like it wasn't our fault. We'll run a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince Edward Island is a province. It is where Anne of Green
Green
Gables
Gables.
was set. It is very tiny. It has the population of under 150,000 people.
Place.
Yeah.
It's we.
The theater that I'm working at used to be called the Montgomery Theater after the author of Anne of Green Gables, but they're trying to do things other than just her writing. Diversity.
That's why they're bringing in Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah. No connection to Anne of Green Gables.
That's 11 episodes
Yeah.
that we've done here. And how do people feel?
Fucking 2 thumbs up.
Great.
I'm looking forward to playing some more Werewolf, but that's going to be in a week. For now, I'm going to go See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.